me like that. Hi, Mitch.
Catch.
What?
Meet.
Stanley, where are you going?
Bowling.
Can I come watch?
Come on.
I'll be over soon. Hello, Eunice. How are you?
I'm all right. Tell Steve to get him a po' boy sandwich, because nothing's left here.
What was that package he threw at her?
You hush now.
Catch. Why?
What's the matter, honey? You lost?
They told me to take a streetcar named Desire, transfer to one called Cemeteries, and ride 6 blocks and get off at Elysian Fields.
That's where you're at now.
At Elysian Fields?
This here's Elysian Fields.
They mustn't have understood what number I wanted.
What number you looking for?
632.
You don't have to look no further.
I'm looking for my sister, Stella Dubois. I mean, Mrs. Stanley Kowalski.
That's the party. You just did miss her, though.
Can this be your home?
She got the downstairs here, and I got the up.
She's out.
You notice that bowling alley around the corner?
I'm not sure that I did.
Well, that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. You want to leave your suitcase here and go find her?
No.
I'll go. Tell her she come.
Thanks.
You're welcome. She wasn't expecting you?
No. No, not tonight.
Well, why don't you just go in and make yourself at home till they get back?
Oh, how could I do that?
We own this place, so I can let you in. Kind of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet.
Is it?
I dropped by the bowling alley, hustled her up.
Hold of myself.
Lange? Lange?
Stella. Oh, Stella. Stella Fastow. Oh. Oh, now then, let me look at you. Oh, but don't you look at me. No. Not till later, not till I bathed and rested. And turn that overlight off, turn it off. I won't be looked at in this merciless glare. Now come back here. Oh, my baby. Stella Fastow. Oh, I thought you would never come back to this horrible place. What am I saying? I didn't mean to say that. I meant to be nice about it and say, oh, what a convenient location and such. Precious lamb, you haven't said a word to me.
You haven't given me a chance to, honey.
Well, now you talk. Open your pretty mouth and talk while I look around for some liquor. I know you must have some liquor on the place, but where could it be, I wonder? I spy.
Blanche, you sit down. I'll pour the drinks. I don't know what we got to mix with. Maybe a Coke's in the icebox.
No Coke, honey, not with my nerves tonight.
Where's Stanley? Bowling. He loves it. They're having, oh, I found some soda. Tournament.
Just water, baby, to chest. Oh, now, don't get worried. Your sister hasn't turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and tired and dirty. Now, you sit down here. You sit down and explain this place to me.
Now,
Oh,
Blanche.
I'm not going to be hypocritical. I'm going to be honestly critical. Never in my worst dreams could I picture. Only Poe, only Mr. Edgar Allan Poe could do it justice. Out there, I suppose, is the cool, haunted woodland of Weir.
No, honey, those are the L and N tracks.
No, seriously, putting joking aside, why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what, Blanche?
Why, that you had to live in these conditions.
Well, aren't you being a little intense about it? It's not that bad at all. New Orleans isn't like other cities.
But this has got nothing to do with New Orleans. You might as well say that. Forgive me, blessed baby. The subject is closed.
Thanks.
You're all I've got in the world. And you're not glad to see me.
Now, Blanche, you know that's not true.
No. Oh, I've forgotten how quiet you are.
You never did give me a chance to say much, honey. I just got in the habit of being quiet around you.
Good habit to get into. Oh, you haven't asked me yet how I happened to get away from the school before the spring term ended.
Well, I thought you'd volunteer that information if you wanted to tell me.
I was so exhausted by all I'd been through that my nerves broke. I was on the verge of lunacy almost, so Mr. Graves, the high school superintendent, he suggested I take a leave of absence. I couldn't put all those details into the wire. Oh, this buzzes right through me and feels so good.
Don't you have another?
One is my limit.
Sure.
You haven't said a word about my appearance.
You look just fine.
God love you for a liar. Daylight never exposed so total ruin. But you've put on a little weight. Yes, you're just as plump as a little partridge, and it's so becoming to you.
Now, Blanche.
Yes, it is. It is. I wouldn't say it. You just have to watch around the hips a little. Stand up.
Not now.
You hear me? I said stand up. Oh, you messy child, you. You spilled something on that pretty white lace collar. About your hair, you ought to have a cut and a feather bob with your dainty features. Stella, you have a maid, don't you?
No. With only 2 rooms, it's
What?
not...
2 rooms, did you say?
Well, yes, this one and...
The other one. Oh, I think I'm going to take one tiny little nip more. Put the stop on, so to speak, and then put the bottle away so I won't be tempted. I want you to take a look at my figure. You know I haven't put on 1 ounce in 10 years. Why, I weigh now what I weighed the summer you left Belle Reve. The summer Dad died and you left us.
It's just incredible, Blanche, how well you're looking.
There's only 2 rooms. I don't see where you're going to put me.
We're going to put you right here.
What kind of bed's this? One of those collapsible things.
Does it feel all right?
Wonderful, honey. I don't like a bed that gives much. But there's no door between the 2 rooms, and Stanley, will it be decent?
It's Stanley is Polish, you know.
Oh, yes. That's something like Irish, isn't it?
Well.
Only not so highbrow. I brought some nice clothes to meet all your lovely friends in.
I'm afraid you won't think they're lovely.
What are they like?
Oh, Stanley's friends.
Pollocks?
They're a mixed lot.
Heterogeneous types.
Yes, types is right.
Well, anyhow, I brought some nice clothes and I'll wear them. I guess you're hoping I'll say I'll put up at a hotel. But I'm not going to put up at a hotel. I want to be near you, Stella. I've got to be with people. I can't be alone. Because as you must have noticed, well, I'm not very well.
You seem a little bit nervous or overwrought or something.
Will Stanley like me? Or will I be just visiting in-law? Oh, Stella, I couldn't stand that.
We'll get along just fine together. If you'll just try not to, well, compare him with men we went out with at home.
Is he so different?
Oh, yes. A different species.
In what way? What's he like?
You can't describe someone you're in love with. Here's a picture of him.
Oh, an officer?
A master sergeant in the engineers corps. Those are decorations.
He must have had those on when you met him.
I assure you I wasn't just blinded by all the brass. Of course, there were things to adjust myself to later on.
Such as his civilian background. How did he take it when you told him I was coming?
Stanley doesn't know yet.
You haven't told him?
He's on the road a good deal.
Oh, he travels. Good. Well, I mean, isn't it?
I could hardly stand it when he's away for a night.
Why, Stella.
When he's away for a week, I nearly go wild.
Gracious.
When he comes back, I cry on his lap like a baby.
I guess that is what is meant by being in love. Stella.
What?
I haven't asked you the things you probably thought I was going to ask, so I'll expect you to be understanding about what I have to tell you.
What, Blanche?
Well, Stella, oh, you're going to reproach me. I know you're bound to reproach me. But before you do, take into consideration, you left. I stayed and struggled. You came to New Orleans and looked after yourself. I stayed at Belle Rive and tried to hold it together. Oh, I'm not meaning this in any reproachful way, but all the burden descended on my shoulders.
Best I could do was make my own living, Blanche.
I know, but you are the one that abandoned Belle Rive. Not I. I stayed and fought for it, bled for it, almost died for it.
This hysterical outburst. And tell me what happened. What do you mean, fought and bled? What kind
I knew you would, Stella. I knew you would take this attitude about it.
What? Please.
Loss. The loss.
Belle Rive? Lost? Is it? No.
Yes, Stella.
How did it go? What happened?
You're a fine one to ask me how it went.
Blanche.
You're a fine one to stand there accusing me of... I took the blows in my face and my body. All of those deaths. The long parade to the graveyard. Father, Mother, Margaret. That dreadful way, so big with it, she couldn't be put in a coffin, but had to be burned like rubbish. You just came home in time for the funeral, Stella. And funerals are pretty compared to deaths. Funerals are quiet, but deaths, not always. Sometimes their breathing is hoarse, and sometimes it rattles. And sometimes they even cry out to you, "Don't let me go." Even the old sometimes say, "Don't let me go." As if you were able to stop them. But funerals are quiet, with pretty flowers. You know what gorgeous boxes they pack them away in. Unless you were there at the bed when they cried out, "Hold me," you'd never suspect there was struggle for breath and bleeding. You didn't dream. But I saw. And now you sit there telling me with your eyes that I let the place go? How in hell do you think all that sickness and dying was paid for? Death is expensive, Miss Stella. And old Cousin Jessie, right after Margaret, hers. Why, the Grim Reaper had put up his tent on our doorstep. Stella, Belle Reve was his headquarters. Honey, that's how it slipped through my fingers. Which of them left us a fortune? Which of them left a cent of insurance even? Only poor Jessie. 100 to pay for her coffin, that was all, Stella. And I with my pitiful salary at the school. Yes, accuse me. Stand there thinking I let the place go. I let the place go. Where were you? In bed with your Pollock.
Lange, you be still. That's enough.
Stella. Stella, where are you going?
I'm going into the bathroom to wash my face.
Stella. Stella, you're crying.
Does that surprise you?
Forgive me, I didn't mean it.
Is that how he got it? Sure, that's how he got it. He hit the old Weatherbird for $300 and a 6-number ticket.
Don't tell him those things, he'll believe it.
Hey, Mitch, come back here.
Hey, we playing poker tomorrow?
Sure, at Mitch's.
No, not at my place. My mother's still sick.
All right, at my place, but you bring the beer.
Good night, all.
You bring the beer.
Break it up down there. I made the spaghetti dish and I ate it myself.
Oh, I told you and phoned you that we was playing. Jack's beer.
You never phoned me once.
Told you at breakfast and phoned you at lunch.
Never mind. Why don't you get yourself home once in a while?
Damn it, you listen what you want. The newspaper?
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Stella's sister?
Yes.
Hello? Where's the little woman?
In the bathroom.
Oh. Didn't know you were coming to town. Where you from, Blanche?
Why, I live in Laurel.
In Laurel, huh? Oh, yeah, in Laurel, that's right. Not in my territory. Liquor goes fast in hot weather. Have a shot?
No, I rarely touch it.
Some people rarely touch it, but it touches them often. My clothes are sticking to me. You mind if I make myself comfortable?
Please do.
Be comfortable. That's my motto up where I come from.
Yes, it's mine, too. Oh, it's hard to stay looking fresh in hot weather. Why, I haven't washed or even powdered, and here you are.
You know, you can catch cold sitting around and damp things, especially when you've been exercising hard like bowling is. You're a teacher, aren't you?
Yes.
What do you teach, Blanche?
English?
I never was a very good English student. How long are you here for?
I don't know yet.
You gonna shack up here?
Well, I thought I would if it's not inconvenient for you all.
Good.
Traveling wears me out.
Well, take it easy.
What's that?
Them's cats.
Well,
Hey, Stella!
yes, Stanley.
You haven't fallen in, have you?
I'm afraid I'll strike you as being the unrefined type. Stella spoke of you a good deal. You were married once, weren't you?
Yes. When I was quite young.
What happened?
The boy. The boy died. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to be sick.
Taxi! Hi, sweetheart.
Stan.
What's all this monkey doings?
I'm taking Blanche to Galatoire's for supper. And then to a show because it's your poker night.
Well, how about my supper, huh? I ain't going to no Galatoire's for supper.
I put you a cold plate on ice. I'm going to try to keep Blanche out till the party breaks up because I don't know how she'd take it.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
So we'll go to one of the little places in the court afterwards? Oh, and you better give me some money.
Where is she?
Soaking in a hot tub to quiet her nerves. She's terribly upset.
Over what?
She's been through such an ordeal.
Yeah?
Stan, we've lost Belle Reeve.
The place in the country?
Yes.
How?
It had to be sacrificed or something. When she comes in, be sure to say something nice about her appearance. Oh, and don't mention the baby. I haven't said anything yet. I'm waiting until she gets in a quieter condition.
So?
And try to understand her. And be nice to her, Stan. She wasn't expecting to find us in such a small place. I tried to gloss things over a little in my letters.
So?
And admire her dress. And tell her she's looking wonderful. It's important to Blanche, her little weakness.
Yeah, I get the idea. Now, let's skip back a little to where you said the place was disposed of.
Oh, yes.
How about that, huh? Let's have a few more details on that subject.
Well, it's best not to talk too much about it until she calms down.
So that's the deal, huh? Sister Blanche cannot be annoyed with business details right now?
Oh, you saw how she was last night?
Yeah, I saw how she was. Now, let's have a gander at the bill of sale.
I haven't seen any.
She didn't show you no papers, no deed of sale, or nothing like that at all?
It seems like it wasn't sold.
Well, what in the hell was it then? Give away to charity?
Shh. She'll hear you.
I don't care if she hears me. Let's see the papers.
There weren't any papers. She didn't show any papers. I don't care about papers.
Listen, Have you ever heard of the Napoleonic Code?
No, Stanley, I haven't heard of the Napoleonic Code.
All right, let me enlighten you on a point or two.
Yes?
Baby. In the state of Louisiana, we have what is known as the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband also, and vice versa. For instance, if I had a piece of property or you had a piece of property.
My head is swimming.
All right. I'll wait till she gets through soaking in a hot tub, and then I'll inquire if she is acquainted with the Napoleonic Code. It looks to me like you've been swindled, baby, and when you get swindled under the Napoleonic Code, I get swindled too, and I don't like to be swindled.
I don't understand what happened to Belle Reeve, but you have no idea how ridiculous you are being when you suggest that my sister or I or anyone else of our family could have perpetrated a swindle on anyone.
Then where's the money if the place was sold?
Not sold. Lost. Lost.
You just open your eyes to this stuff. You think she got them out of a teacher's pay? Look at these feathers and furs. She come here to preen or something. And what's this here? A solid gold dress, I believe. And this one, what is this here? Fox pieces, genuine fox fur pieces, a half a mile long. Where are your fox pieces, Stella? Bushy Snow White ones, no less. Where are your white fox pieces?
These are inexpensive summer furs Blanche has had a long time.
I have an acquaintance who deals in this sort of merchandise. I'll have him in here to make an appraisal of it.
Don't be such an idiot, Stanley.
I'm willing to bet you there's $1,000 invested in this stuff here. And what have we here? The treasure chest of a pirate. Pearls, ropes of them. What is this sister of yours, a deep-sea diver?
Stanley?
Bracelets of solid gold. Where were your
Be
pearls and
still.
gold bracelets? And what is this? Diamonds, a crown for an empress.
A rhinestone tiara she wore to a costume ball.
What's rhinestone?
Next door to Glass.
Are you kidding? I have an acquaintance who works in a jewelry store. I'll have him in here to make an appraisal of this. Here's your plantation, or what's left of it. Here.
You have no idea how stupid and horrid you're being. Leave this trunk alone before she comes out of the bathroom.
The Kowalskis and the Dubois have different notions.
Indeed they have. Thank heavens. I'm going outside. You come on with me while Blanche is getting dressed.
Since when do you give me orders?
Are you going to stay in here and insult her?
You're damn tootin'. I'm gonna stay right here.
Hello, Stanley. Here I am, all freshly bathed and scented and feeling like a brand new human being.
That's good.
Excuse me while I slip on my pretty new dress.
Sure, go right ahead, Blanche.
Thank you. I understand there's to be a little card party tonight, to which we ladies are cordially not invited.
That's right.
Where's Stella?
Out on the porch.
I'm gonna ask a favor of you in a moment.
What could that be, I wonder?
Some buttons in back. You may enter. Well, how do I look?
You look okay.
Many thanks. And now the buttons.
I can't do nothing with that.
You men with your big clumsy fingers. May I have a drag on your cig?
Here. Have one for yourself.
Thank you. It looks like my trunk has exploded.
Me and Stella were helping you unpack.
You certainly did a fast and thorough job of it.
Looks like you raided some stylish shops in Paris.
Yes. Clothes are my passion.
What does it cost for a string of fur pieces like that?
Why, these were a tribute from an admirer of mine.
He must have had a lot of admiration.
In my youth, I excited some admiration. But look at me now. Would you think it possible I was once considered to be attractive?
Your looks are okay.
I was fishing for a compliment, Stanley.
I don't go in for that sort of stuff.
What stuff?
Compliments to women on their looks. I never met a woman who didn't know if she was good looking or not without being told, and some of them give themselves credit for more than they got. I once went out with a dame who says to me, I am the glamorous type. I am the glamorous type. I said, so what?
And what did she say then?
She didn't say nothing. That shut her up like a clam.
Did it end the romance?
Ended the conversation, that was all. Some men are took in by this Hollywood glamour stuff, and some are not.
I'm sure you belong in the second category.
That's right.
I cannot imagine any witch of a woman casting a spell over you.
That's right.
You're simple, straightforward, and honest. A little bit on the primitive side, I should think. To interest you, a woman would have to,
Lay her cards on the table.
Well, I never cared for wishy-washy people. That was why when you walked in here last night, I thought to myself, my sister has married a man. Of course, that was all I could tell about you at the moment.
All right, let's cut the rebound.
Stanley, you come out here and let Blanche finish dressing.
Oh, I'm finished dressing, honey.
Well, you come out then.
Your sister and I are having a little talk.
Honey, do me a favor. Run to the drugstore and get me a lemon coke with plenty of chipped ice in it. Will you do that for me, sweetie? Please, please. The poor little thing was out there listening to us, and I have an idea she doesn't understand you as well as I do. All right, Mr. Kowalski. Let us proceed without any more digression. I'm ready to answer all questions. I have nothing to hide.
In the state of Louisiana, there is such a thing as the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband also, and vice versa.
My, but you have an impressive judicial air.
You know, if I didn't know you was my wife's sister, I'd get ideas about you.
Such as what?
Don't play dumb, you know what.
All right. Cards on the table. That suits me. I know I fib a good deal. After all, a woman's charm is 50% illusion. When a thing is important, I tell the truth. And this is the truth. I haven't cheated my sister or you or anyone else as long as I've lived.
Then where's the papers? In the trunk?
Everything I own is in that trunk. What in the name of heaven are you thinking of? What is going on in the back of that little boy's mind of yours? Here, let me do it. It'll be faster and simpler. I keep my papers mostly in this tin box.
What's them underneath?
Love letters. Yellowing with antiquity. All from one boy. Give those back to me.
I'll have a look at them first.
The touch of your hand insults them.
Don't pull that
Now that you've touched them, I'll burn them. Oh. Oh.
What are they?
Poems a dead boy wrote. I hurt him the way you would like to hurt me, but you can't. I'm not young and vulnerable anymore, but my young husband was, and I... Never mind that. Just give it back.
What do you mean by saying you'll have to burn them?
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have lost my head for a moment. Everybody has something they won't let others touch because of their intimate nature. Oh. Ambler and Ambler.
What is Ambler and Ambler?
A firm that made loans on the place.
Then it was lost on a mortgage.
That must have been what happened.
I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts. What's all the rest of them papers?
Thousands of papers stretching back over hundreds of years affecting Belle Reeve. As piece by piece, our improvident grandfathers and father and uncles and brothers exchanged exchanged the land for their epic fornications. To put it plainly, the four-letter word deprived us of our plantation, until finally all that was left, and Stella can verify that, was the house itself and about 20 acres of ground, including a graveyard, to which now all but Stella and I have retreated. Here. Here they all are. All papers. Take them. Peruse them. Commit them to memory, even. I think it wonderfully fitting that Belle Reeve should finally be this bunch of old papers in your big, capable hands. I wonder if Stella's come back with my lemon Coke.
I have a lawyer acquaintance who will study these out.
Present them to him with a box of aspirin tablets.
You see, under the Napoleonic Code, a man's got to take an interest in his wife's affairs, especially now that she's going to have a baby.
Stella, going to have a baby? Oh, I didn't know she was going to have a baby. Oh, Stella. Stella for Star. Oh, lovely to have a baby. It's all right now. Everything's all right. Oh,
I'm sorry I did that to you.
I guess he's just not the type that goes in for jasmine perfume. But maybe he's what we need to mix with our blood now that we've lost Belle Reeve. We thrashed it out. I feel a bit shaky, but I think I handled it nicely. I laughed and treated it all as a joke. I called him a little boy and laughed and flirted. Yes, I was flirting with your husband.
Hi, Stella.
It's a gathering for the poker party. Which way do we go now, Stella? This way?
No, this way.
The blind are leading the blind.
Red hot. Get it red hot.
No.
All right, well,
Game's still going on.
Oh, how do I look?
Lovely, Blanche.
Oh, wait till I powder. I feel so hot and frazzled. Do I look all done in?
You look fresh as a daisy.
One that's been picked a few days.
This game is 7-card stud.
Well, well, well. I see you boys are still at it.
Where you been?
Blanche and I took in a show. Blanche, this is Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hubble.
Please don't get up.
No one's going to get up, so don't be worried.
How much longer is this game going to continue?
Till we get ready to quit.
Poker is so fascinating. Could I give it?
You could not.
Excuse me.
Why don't you women go upstairs and sit with Eunice?
Because it's nearly 2:30. Couldn't you call it quits after one more hand? Stanley! It's not fun, Stanley. He's so mad when he does that in front of people.
I think I'll bathe.
Again?
My nerves are not. Is the bathroom occupied?
I don't know.
Oh. Good evening.
Hello.
Blanche, this is Harold Mitchell. My sister, Blanche Dubois.
How do you do?
How do you do, Miss Dubois?
How is your mother, Mitch?
About the same, thanks. She appreciated you sending over that custard. Excuse me.
Oh. That one seems superior to the others.
Yes, he is.
I thought he had a sort of sensitive look.
His mother is sick.
Is he married?
No.
Is he a wolf?
Why, Blanche? No, I don't think he would be.
What does he do?
He's on the precision bench in the spare parts department. At the plant that Stanley travels for.
Is that something much?
No. Stanley's the only one of his crowd likely to get him there. Blanche, you're standing in the light.
Come on. Gracious.
You want to see their wives.
I can imagine. Big, beefy things, I suppose.
Hey, you hens, cut up that conversation in there.
You can't hear us.
Well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up.
Look, this is my house, and I'll talk as much as I want to.
Stella, don't make a row.
He's half drunk. I'll be out in a minute.
Hey, Mitch, you in?
What? Oh, no, I'm out.
Who turned that on in there?
I did. You mind?
Well, turn it off. The girls have the music.
Well, that's good, Stanley. Leave it on.
Sounds like Xavier Cugat.
Stanley.
I didn't hear you name it.
Didn't I name it, Rich?
What? I wasn't listening.
What are you doing then?
He was looking through them drapes. The deal the hand over again and let's play cards and quit. Some people get ants when they win. Sit down.
Deal me out. I'm going to the head.
All right, boys. This game is spit in the ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Excuse me.
Oh, the little boy's room is busy right now.
We've been drinking beer.
I hate beer.
It's a hot weather drink.
I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any cigs?
Sure.
Good. What a pretty case. Silver.
Yes, yes. Read the inscription.
Oh, is there an inscription? I can't make it out. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Well, that's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Browning.
You know it?
I certainly do.
There's a story connected with that inscription.
Sounds like a romance.
A pretty sad one. The girl's dead now.
Oh.
She knew she was dying when she gave me this.
Oh.
Very strange girl. Very sweet. Very.
She must have been fond of you. Sick people have such deep, sincere attachments.
That's right. They certainly do.
Sorrow makes for sincerity, I think.
I believe you are right about that.
I'm positive that I am. Show me a person who hasn't known sorrow, and I'll show you a superficial person. Oh, listen to me. My tongue is a little thick tonight. You boys are responsible for it. The show let out at 11, but we couldn't come home on account of the poker game. So we had to go somewhere and drink. I'm not accustomed to having more than one drink. 2 is my limit. 3? Tonight I had 3.
Mitch!
Deal me out. I'm talking with Miss Dubois.
It's a French name. It means woods, and Blanche means white. So the two together mean white woods, like an orchard in spring. You can remember it by that, if you care to. Will you do something for me?
Sure. Yeah. What?
I bought this adorable little colored paper lantern at a Chinese shop on Bourbon. Put it over the light bulb, will you, please?
Be glad to.
I can't stand a naked light bulb any more than I can a rude remark or vulgar action.
I guess we strike you as being a pretty rough bunch.
I'm very adaptable. Circumstances.
That's a good thing to be. You are visiting Stanley and Stella?
Stella hasn't been so well lately, and I came down to help her for a while.
Who needs a beer?
You're not.
Married? No. No, I'm an old maid school teacher.
You may teach school, but you are certainly not an old maid.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry.
So you are in the teaching profession?
Yes.
Grade school or high school or...
Hey, Mitch! Come in!
Gracious, what lung power. I teach high school in law.
What do you teach? What subject?
I have the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with reverence for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe.
I guess that some of them are more interested in other things.
Oh, very right you are. But they're sweet, and in the spring, oh, it's touching to notice them making their first discovery of love. As if no one had ever known it before. Oh, have you finished?
Oh, yes.
Wait, I'll turn on the radio. Now, turn the light on above now. Oh, look, we've made enchantment.
Three bullets, you dirty dog.
Straight. I got you.
Stanley.
Off.
What are you doing with my radio?
Out of my way.
Drunk animal thing, you!
Sam, take it easy.
All of you, please go home. If any one of you have a spark of decency in you.
Stella, take it easy.
You lay your hands on me and I...
My sister's gonna have a baby.
This is terrible.
Get him over here, man. Come on, Stanley. Calm down.
Oh, Stella, I want to go to that woman's upstairs.
Calm down.
Stella, did I let you?
Poker shouldn't be played in the house with women.
What's the matter? What happened?
What happened? I'll tell you what happened. You just blew your top. That's what happened.
He's okay. Show him my boy's okay.
Put him on a bed, get him a wet towel.
I think coffee will do him more good now. Let's get him some cold water.
Put him under the shower, get him plenty of cold water. Shouldn't live with nice women. He don't deserve to. Put him under the shower. Come on. Ah! Turn it off!
Easy.
Turn it off!
Yeah, you feel better now?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Poker should not be played in a house with women.
Steve!
Uh-oh.
Steve! What?
Eunice, is my girl up there? I want my girl.
You stinker, you whelp of a
I'll keep ringing till I talk with my baby.
a woman and then call her back, and her going to have a baby.
Stella! Stella!
Don't ever leave me. Don't ever leave me. Baby. Sweetheart.
Stella.
Miss Dubois. All quiet on the Potomac now?
She ran downstairs and went back in there with you.
Sure she did.
I'm terrified that
There's
something might
nothing to be
happen.
scared of. They're crazy about each other.
I'm not used to this.
Shame
kind
this had to happen when you just got here, but don't take it serious.
of violence.
Sit down on the steps and have a cigarette with me.
I'm not properly dressed.
That don't make no difference in the quarter.
Such a pretty silver case.
I showed you the inscription, didn't I?
Yes. Oh. There's so much confusion in the world. Thank you for being so kind. I need kindness now.
You want young friars? Here are blackberries, 10 cents a quart. Come get some French country. Irish potatoes. Blackberries. Use your 10 cents a quart. You want
Stella.
young friars?
My baby. Oh, my baby sister.
Blanche, what is the matter with you?
He's left.
Stan, yes?
Will he be back?
He's going to get the car greased. Why?
I've been half crazy. When I found out you'd been insane enough to come back in here after what happened, I started to rush in after you.
I'm glad you didn't.
What on earth were you thinking of? Answer me. What? What?
Please. Blanche, sit down and stop yelling.
All right, Stella. I will repeat the question quietly now. How could you come back in this place last night?
Now, Blanche.
You must have slept with him.
I forgot how excitable you are, Blanche. You're making much too much fuss about this.
Anna.
I know how it must have seemed to you, and I'm awful sorry it had to happen. But it wasn't anything as serious as you seem to take it. In the first place, when men are drinking and playing poker, anything can happen. It's always a powder keg. He didn't know what he was doing. When I came back, he was as good as a lamb. And he's really very, very ashamed of himself.
And that makes it all right?
No, it isn't all right for anybody to make such a terrible row. People do sometimes. Stanley's always smashed things. Why, on our wedding night, as soon as we came in here, he snatched off one of my slippers and rushed about the place, smashing the light bulbs with it.
And you let him?
I was sort of thrilled by it. Eunice, you had breakfast yet? There's still some coffee on the stove.
You're so matter-of-fact, Stella. Standing there smiling.
What do you want me to do?
Pull yourself together and face the facts.
What are they, in your opinion?
In my opinion, you are married to a madman.
No.
Yes, you are. Your fix is worse than mine is, only you're not being sensible about it. I'm going to do something. Take hold of myself and make a new life.
Yes?
But you've given in. Gwen, that's not right. You're not old. You can get out.
I'm not in anything I want to get out of.
What, Stella?
I said, I'm not in anything I have a desire to get out of. Oh, you look at the mess in this room. He promised this morning he was going to quit having these poker parties. But you know how long such a promise is going to keep. Well, it's his pleasure. Like mine is movies and bridge. People have got to tolerate each other's habits, I guess.
I don't understand you. I don't understand your indifference. Is this a Chinese philosophy you've cultivated?
Is what?
This shuffling about and mumbling as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. What, are you deliberately shaking that thing in my face?
No.
Then stop it. Put it down. I won't have you cleaning up after him.
Well, then who's going to do it? Are you? No, I don't think so.
Oh, let me think. Oh, if only my mind would function. We've got to get hold of some money. That's the way out.
I guess money's always nice to get hold of.
Listen to me. I have an idea of some kind. Do you remember Shep Huntley?
No.
Oh, of course you remember. Shep Huntley. I went out with him at college, wore his pin for a while.
Well?
I ran into him last winter. You know I went to Miami during the Christmas holidays?
No.
Well, I did. I took the trip as an investment, thinking I'd meet someone with $1 million.
Did you?
Yes. I ran into Shep Huntley. You've heard of oil wells?
Yes, remotely.
Well, he has them all over Texas. Texas is literally spouting gold in his pocket.
My.
You know how indifferent I am to money. I think of money only in terms of what it does for you. But he could do it. He could certainly do it.
Do what, Lange?
Why, set us up in a shop.
Oh, what kind of a shop?
Oh, a shop of some kind. He could do it with half of what his wife throws away at the races.
Oh, he's married?
Honey, would I be here if the man weren't married? How do I get Western Union? No, wait. Where's a pencil? Give me a slip of paper. I've got to write it down first. The message, I mean. Now then. Let me see. Darling Shep. Sister and I in desperate situation.
I beg your pardon?
Sister and I in desperate situation. We'll explain details later. Would you be interested in what? Oh, you never get anywhere with direct appeals.
Darling, don't be so ridiculous.
Don't laugh at me, Stella. Please. Don't laugh at me. I want you to take a look at the contents of my purse. Here's what's in it. 65 measly cents in coin of the realm.
Stanley doesn't give me a regular allowance. He likes to pay bills himself, but this morning he gave me $10 to smooth things over. Take 5 of it, Blanche. I'll keep the rest.
Oh, thank you. I'll take to the streets.
Talk sense. How did you happen to get so low on funds?
Money it goes places.
You don't have to worry about anything while you're here. I mean, expenses.
Stella, I have to plan for us both, to get us both out.
Will you stop taking it for granted that I'm in something I want to get out of?
I take it for granted that you still have sufficient memory of Belle Reeve to find this place and these poker players impossible to live with.
Well, you're taking entirely too much for granted.
I can't believe you're in earnest.
No?
Oh, I understand how it happened a little. You saw him in uniform. An officer not here, but somewhere
I'm not sure it would have made any difference where I saw
Now,
him.
don't tell me it was one of those mysterious electric things between people. If you do, I'll laugh in your face.
I'm not going to say anything more at all about it.
All right, then don't.
But there are things that happen between a man and a woman in the dark. It sort of makes everything else seem unimportant.
What you are talking about is brutal desire. Just desire. Name of that rattletrap streetcar that bangs through the quarter, up one old narrow street and down another.
Haven't you ever ridden on that streetcar?
It brought me here. Where I'm not wanted and where I'm ashamed to be.
And don't you think your superior attitude is a bit out of place?
I'm not being or feeling at all superior, Stella. Believe me, I'm not. It's just this. This is how I look at it. A man like that is someone to go out with. Once, twice, 3 times when the devil is in you. But to live with? To have a child by?
I have told you that I love him.
Well, then I tremble for you. I just tremble for you.
I can't help your trembling if you insist on trembling.
May I speak plainly?
Yes. Do. Go ahead as plainly as you want to.
All of you will forgive me. He's common.
Yes, I suppose he is.
Suppose? You can't have forgotten that much of our bringing up, Stella. That you just suppose that any part of a gentleman's in his nature. Not one particle, no. Oh, if he were just ordinary, just plain, but good and wholesome. But no, there's something downright bestial about him. You're hating me saying this, aren't you?
Go on and say it all, Blanche.
He acts like an animal. Has an animal's habits. He eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. Well, there's something even subhuman. Something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him. Like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him right by. And there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle. And you here, waiting for him. Maybe he'll strike you. Or maybe grunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls, the other apes gather. His poker night, you call it. This party of apes. Somebody growls, some creature snatches at something, and the fight is on. God, maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image. But Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such things as art, as poetry and music. Such kinds of new light have come into the world since then. And in some kinds of people, some tenderer feelings have had some little beginnings that we have got to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag. In this dark march toward whatever it is we're approaching, don't hang back with the brutes.
Hey, Stella?
Yes, Stanley?
Stella.
Presto. Blanche back?
Yes, she's back.
Hi, Blanche.
Looks like you got under the car.
Ah, them mechanics at Fritz's don't know their can from third base. Hey.
What are you laughing at, honey?
Oh, at myself. Myself for being such a liar. I'm writing a letter to Shep. Darling Shep, I'm spending the summer on the wing, making flying visits here and there. And who knows, perhaps I should take a sudden notion to swoop down on Dallas. How would you feel about that? Forewarned is forearmed, as they say. Most of my sister's friends go north in the summer, but some have homes on the Gulf.
I know about you and that blonde.
That's a damn lie.
I'm gonna call the mouse squad.
Don't you throw that at me.
Thank you.
Now look at what you've done.
Did he kill her?
No. She's coming downstairs.
You come back here.
I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna call the police.
What's the matter with Eunice?
She and Steve had a row. Is she getting the police?
Nah, she's getting a drink.
That's much more practical.
She here?
No, at the Four Deuces. What punk?
Oh, I must jot that down in my notebook. I'm compiling a notebook of quaint little words and phrases I've picked up here.
You won't pick up nothing here you ain't heard before.
Can I count on that?
You can count on that up to 500.
That's a mighty high number. What sign were you born under?
Sign?
Astrological sign. Oh, I bet you were born under Aries. Aries people are forceful and dynamic. They dote on noise. They love to bang things around.
Stanley was born just 5 minutes after Christmas.
Capricorn. The goat.
What sign were you born under?
My birthday's next month, the 15th of September. Under Virgo.
What's Virgo?
Virgo's the Virgin.
Say, do you happen to know somebody named Shaw?
Why, everybody knows somebody named Shaw.
Well, this somebody named Shaw is under the impression he met you in Laurel, only I figured he must have got you mixed up with some other party. Because this other party is someone he met at a hotel called the Flamingo.
Yes. I'm afraid he does have me mixed up with this other party. Oh, the Hotel Flamingo is not the sort of place I would dare to be seen.
You know of it?
Yes, I've seen it and smelled it.
You must have gotten pretty close if you could smell it.
The odor of cheap perfume is penetrating.
That stuff you use is expensive?
$12 an ounce. I'm nearly out. That's just a hint if you want to remember my birthday.
I figured he must have got you mixed up, but he goes in and out of Laurel all the time so he can check it out and clear up any mistakes. I'll wait for you at the Four Deuces.
Hey! Don't I rate a kiss?
Not in front of your sister.
You know I don't love them girls.
I don't give a damn about those girls. Just forget you said.
I love you. You know I love you. I only do that with other girls because I love you.
You still frightened of thunder?
What have you heard about me?
Huh?
What have people been telling you about me?
Telling?
You haven't heard any unkind gossip about me?
Why, no, Blanche. Of course not.
Honey, there was a good deal of talk in Laurel.
About you, Blanche?
I haven't been so good these last 2 years or so. Ever since Belle Reeve started to slip through my fingers. I was never hard or self-sufficient. When people are soft people have got to shimmer and glow. You've got to put on soft colors, the color of butterfly wings, and put paper lanterns over the light bulb. But it's not enough to be soft. You've got to be soft and attractive. And I'm fading now. I don't know how much longer I can turn the trick. Have you been listening to me?
I never listen to you when you're being morbid.
Is that coke for me?
Not for anyone else.
You precious thing. Is it just coke?
You mean you want a shot in it?
Well, honey, a shot never did a coke any harm. No, you mustn't wait on me.
I like to wait on you, Blanche. Makes it seem more like home.
Well, I must admit, I love to be waited on.
Blanche, honey? What is it?
You're so good to me, and
Blanche.
I know you hate me to talk sentimental. Honey, believe me, I feel things more than I tell you. I won't stay long. I promise.
Blanche.
I won't. I promise I won't. I'll go. Go soon I will, really. I won't hang around until he throws me out.
Now, will you stop talking foolish?
Yes, honey. Now, careful how you pour that fizzy stuff foams over. Oh!
Heavens.
Oh! Out of my pretty white skirt.
Use your hanky. Block gently.
Yes, I know. Gently. Gently.
Oh, did it stain?
No, not a bit. Isn't that lucky?
Why did you scream like that?
I don't know why I screamed. Mitch is coming at 7. I guess I'm just feeling nervous about our relations. He doesn't know. I mean, I haven't informed him of my real age.
Why are you sensitive about your age?
Because of the hard knocks my vanity's been given. What I mean is, he thinks I'm sort of prim and proper, you know? I want to keep it that way. I want to deceive him just enough to make him want me.
Blanche, do you want him?
I want to rest. I want to breathe quietly again. Yes. I want Mitch. I want him very badly. Just think if it happens, I can leave here and not be anyone's problem.
Hey, Steve! Hey, Eunice! Hey, Stella!
It will happen.
It will.
It will. It will, honey. It will. But don't take another drink.
Come on, lover boy.
I'm gonna go get you.
Come on.
I'm gonna go get you. Come back here, you sweet little patootie. Hey!
Hiya, fatty.
Oh, let me go.
Oh, me, oh, me.
Come in.
Good evening, ma'am.
Well, well. And what can I do for you?
I'm collecting for the Evening Star.
I didn't know stars took up collections.
It's the paper, ma'am.
I know, I was joking. Feebly. Will you, have a drink?
No, ma'am. No, thank you. I can't drink on the job.
Well, now, let me see. No, I haven't a dime. I'm not the lady of the house.
That's all right, ma'am. I'll drop by later.
Hey, could you, give me a light?
Sure. This doesn't always work.
It's temperamental.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what time is it?
It's 15 to 7, ma'am.
So late? Don't you just love these long, rainy afternoons in New Orleans? When an hour isn't just an hour, but a little piece of eternity dropped into your hands. And who knows what to do with it? You didn't get wet in the rain.
No, ma'am. I stepped inside.
Into a drugstore and had a soda.
Oh.
Chocolate.
No, ma'am. Cherry.
Cherry?
A cherry soda.
You make my mouth water.
Well, I better be going.
Young man. Young. Young man. Has anyone ever told you you look like a young prince out of the Arabian Nights?
No, ma'am.
Well, you do, honey lamb. Come here. Come on over here like I told you. I want to kiss you. Just once. Softly and sweetly on your mouth. Run along now. It would be nice to keep you, but I've got to be good and keep my hands off the children. Adios. Oh, look who's coming. My rose and cavalier. Bow to me first. And now present them. Ah, merci.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Yeah, I guess it must be pretty late. And you're tired.
How will you get home?
I'll walk over to Bourbon and catch an Alcott.
Is that streetcar named Desire still grinding along the tracks at this hour?
I'm afraid you haven't had much fun out of this evening, Lange.
I spoiled it for you.
No, you didn't, but the whole time I felt as though I wasn't giving you much entertainment.
I simply couldn't rise to the occasion, that was all. Oh, I don't think I ever tried so hard to be gay and made such a dismal mess of it.
Why did you try if you didn't feel like it, Blanche?
I was just obeying the law of nature.
Which law is that?
The one that says a lady must entertain a gentleman or no dice. Oh. See if you can locate my door key in this purse. When I'm so tired, my fingers are all thumbs.
Is this it?
No, that is the key to my trunk, which I must soon be packing.
You mean you are leaving pretty soon now?
I've outstayed my welcome.
Is this it?
Eureka! Open the door, will you, honey? While I take one last look at the sky. I'm looking for the Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. Oh, but these girls are not out tonight. Oh, yes, they are. There they are, God bless them. All in a bunch coming home from their little bridge party. Did you get the door open? Good boy. Well, I guess you want to go now.
Can I, kiss you goodnight?
Why do you always ask me if you may?
I don't know whether you want me to or not.
Why should you be so doubtful?
That night when we parked by the lake and I kissed you.
Oh, honey, it wasn't the kiss I objected to. I liked the kiss very much. It was the other little familiarity that I felt obliged to discourage. Oh, not that I resented it. Not a bit in the world. In fact, I was somewhat flattered that you desired me. But you know as well as I do, a single girl, a girl alone in the world, has got to keep a firm hold on her emotions or she'll be lost.
Lost?
I guess you're used to girls who like to be lost. The kind that get lost immediately on the very first date.
Oh, no. I like you to be exactly the way that you are, because in all my experience, I have never known anyone like you. Are you laughing at me?
Oh, no, honey. No, I'm not laughing at you. The Lord and the lady of the house have not yet returned. So come in. We'll have a nightcap. Oh, let's leave the light off, shall we? This crashing around in the dark is my search for some liquor.
You want a drink?
Oh, I want you to have a drink. You've been so anxious and solemn all evening. And so have I. We've both been anxious and solemn. And now for these few last remaining moments of our lives together, I want to create joie de vivre. I'm lighting a candle.
That's good.
We are going to be very bohemian. We are going to pretend that this is a little artist cafe on the left bank in Paris. Je suis la dame aux camélias. Vous êtes Armand. You understand French?
Oh, no, I don't understand French.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Vous comprenez pas? Oh, quel dommage. I mean, it's a damn good thing. Aha! I found some liquor. Just enough for 2 shots without any dividends, honey.
That's good.
Why don't you take off your coat and loosen your collar?
I'd better leave it on.
No, I want you to be comfortable.
No, I am ashamed of the way I perspire. My shirt is sticking to me.
Perspiration is healthy. Why, if people didn't perspire, they'd die in 5 minutes. This is a nice coat. What kind of material is this?
They call that stuff alpaca.
Oh, alpaca.
It's a very lightweight alpaca.
Lightweight alpaca.
I don't like to wear a wash coat even in the summer because I sweat right through it, and it don't look neat on me. A man with a heavy build's got to be careful what he puts on him so he don't look too clumsy.
You are not too heavy.
You don't think I am?
Well, you're not the delicate type. You have a mass of bone structure and a very imposing physique.
I thank you. Last Christmas, I was given a membership at the New Orleans Athletic Club.
Oh, good.
It is the finest present I ever was given. I work out there with the weights, and I swim, and I keep myself fit. When I started there, I was soft in the belly, but now my belly is hard. It is so hard that a man can punch me in the belly, and it won't hurt me. Punch me. What? See?
Oh, gracious.
Blanche, guess how much I weigh?
Oh, I'd say in the vicinity of, 180 pounds.
No, no, guess again.
Not that much?
No more.
Well, you're a tall man. You could carry a good deal of weight without looking awkward.
I weigh 245 pounds, and I'm 6 foot 1 1/2 inches tall in my bare feet, without shoes on. And that is what I weigh stripped.
Oh, my goodness me, that's awe-inspiring.
I guess my weight is not a very interesting subject to talk about. What's yours?
My weight?
Yes.
Guess.
Let me lift you.
Ooh, Samson. Go ahead, lift me.
Oh. You are light as a feather.
Oh, you may release me now.
Huh?
I said unhand me, sir. Now, Mitch, just because Stanley and Stella are not at home is no reason you shouldn't behave like a gentleman.
You just give me a slap whenever I step out of bounds.
Oh, that won't be necessary. You're a natural gentleman, one of the very few left in the world.
Where's Stanley and Stella tonight?
They have gone out with Mr. and Mrs. Hubble upstairs.
We should all go out together some night.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea.
Why not?
You are an old friend of Stanley's.
We was together in the 241st.
I guess he talks to you frankly.
Sure.
Has he talked to you about me?
Oh, not very much.
But what he has said, what would you say his attitude toward me was?
I think that he don't understand you.
Oh, that is putting it mildly. If it weren't for Stella about to have a baby, I wouldn't be able to endure things around here.
He isn't nice to you?
He's insufferably rude. Goes out of his way to offend me.
I don't see how anyone could be rude to you.
It's really a pretty frightful situation. Surely he must have told you how much he hates me.
Oh, I don't think he hates you.
Oh, he hates me. He hates me. Why would he insult me? First time I laid eyes on him, I thought to myself, that man is my executioner. That man will destroy me unless...
Blanche? Blanche?
Yes, honey.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, what?
How old are you?
Why do you want to know?
Because I talked to my mother about you, and she said, how old is Blanche?
You talked to your mother about me?
Yes.
Why?
Because I told her how nice you were, and then I liked you.
And were you sincere about that?
You know that I was.
Why did your mother want to know my age?
Mother is sick.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Badly.
She won't live long, maybe just a few months. And she worries because I'm not settled. She wants me to be settled down before she...
You love her very much, don't you? I think you have a great capacity for devotion. You'll be lonely when she passes on. I understand what that is.
To be lonely?
I loved someone once, and the person I loved I lost.
Dead?
Yes.
A man?
He was a boy. Just a boy. When I was a very young girl. When I was 16, I made the discovery. Love. all at once and much, much too completely. It was like you suddenly turned a blinding light on something that had always been half in shadow. That's how it struck the world for me. But I was unlucky. Deluded. There was something different about the boy. A nervousness, a softness, tenderness which wasn't like a man's. Although he wasn't in the least bit effeminate looking, still that thing was there. He came to me for help, but I didn't know that. I didn't find out anything until after our marriage, when we'd run away and come back. And all I knew was that I had failed him in some mysterious way and wasn't able to give him the help that he needed but couldn't speak of. He was in the quicksands, clutching at me. But I wasn't holding him out. I was slipping in with him. But I didn't know that. But I didn't know anything except that I loved him unendurably. But without being able to help him or help myself. And then I found out, in the worst of all possible ways, by suddenly coming into a room which I thought was empty, that wasn't empty, but had two people in it. The boy I'd married and an older man that had been his friend for years. Afterwards, we pretended that nothing had been discovered. Yes, the three of us drove out to Moon Lake Casino. Very drunk and laughing all the way. We danced the Varsuviana. Suddenly, in the middle of the dance, the boy I'd married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. A few moments later, a shot. I ran out. All did, all ran and gathered about this terrible thing at the edge of the lake. I couldn't get near for the crowding. Then somebody caught my arm. Don't go any closer. Come back. You don't want to see. See? See what? And then I heard voices say, Alan, the gray boy. He'd stuck a revolver into his mouth and fired. So that the back of his head had been blown away. It was because on the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I suddenly said, I know. I saw. You disgust me. And then that searchlight that had been turned on the world was turned off again. And never for one moment since.
Has there been any light stronger than that kitchen candle?
You need somebody. And I need somebody too. Could it be you and me, Blanche?
Sometimes there's God so quickly. It's a bottom and Bailey world, just as funny as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe.
What's all this stuff for?
Honey, it's Blanche's birthday.
She here?
In the bathroom.
Soaking in a hot tub?
Yes.
Temperature 100 on the nose, and she soaks herself in a hot tub.
She says it cools her off for the evening.
And you run and get her Cokes, I suppose, and serve them to Her Majesty in the tub. Sit down. I got the dope on your big sister, Stella.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me common.
Lately, you've been doing all you can think of to rub her the wrong way. Blanche is sensitive. You got to realize, Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances.
So I've been told, and told, and told, and told. You know she's been feeding us a pack of lies here, don't you? Well, she has, however, but now the cat is out of the bag. I found out some things.
What things?
Things I already suspected, but now I have proof from the most reliable sources, which I have checked on. Some canary bird, huh?
Now, will you please tell me quietly what you think you have found out about my sister?
Lie number one. All this squeamishness she puts on, you should just know the line she's been feeding to Mitch. She thought she'd never been more than kissed by a fella. But you know Sister Blanche is no lily.
What have you heard, and who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years, and he knows all about her. And everybody else in the town of Laurel knows all about her. She is as famous in Laurel as if she was the President of the United States, only she is not respected by any party. The supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there, too.
My sister stayed at Belle Reve.
This is after the home place had slipped through her lily white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of the personalities there. Now, the Flamingos used to all sorts of goings-on, but even the management of the Flamingo was impressed with Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed, they requested her to turn in her room key for permanently. This happened just a couple of weeks before she showed here. Sure, I can see how you would be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes just as much as Mitch's.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it.
Honey, I told you I checked on every single story. The trouble with Dame Blanche was she couldn't put on her act anymore in Laurel. The town was too small for this to go on forever, and as time went by, she became the town character. Regarded not just as different, but downright loco, nuts. That's why she's here this summer, visiting royalty, putting on all this act. Because she's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes. Did you know there was an army camp near Laurel, and your sister's was one of the places called Out of Bounds? Which brings us to line number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She didn't resign temporarily because of her nerves. No siree, Bob, she didn't. She was kicked out before the spring term ended, and I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she's gotten herself mixed up with.
Oh, this is making me sick.
The boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school superintendent. Boy, I'd love to have been in that office when Dame Blanche was called on the carpet. I'd love to have seen her trying to squirm her way out of that one, but they had her hooked good and proper that time when she knew that the jig was up. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. It was practically a town ordinance passed against her.
Stella,
Yes, Blanche?
bring me another bath towel.
Yes, Blanche.
What's the matter, honey?
Matter? Why?
You have such a strange expression on your face.
Oh, I guess I'm a little tired.
Why don't you take a hot bath as soon as I get out?
How soon is that going to be, Blanche?
Not so terribly long. Possess your soul of patience.
It's not my soul, it's my kidneys I'm worried about. Well, what do you think of it?
I don't believe all those stories. And I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he said are partly true. My sister was always flighty.
Yeah, flighty.
But when she was young, very young, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good-looking. I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshiped the ground he walked on, adored him, thought him almost too fine to be human. And then she found out.
What?
This beautiful and talented young man was a degenerate. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. That must have been a pretty long time ago.
Yes, it was. A pretty long time ago.
How many candles you sticking in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
We asked Mitch to come over for cake and ice cream.
I wouldn't be expecting Mitch over tonight.
Why?
Stell, Mitch is a buddy of mine. We were in the same outfit together, 241st Engineers. Now working the same plant on the same bowling team.
Stanley Kowalski, did you repeat what that man said?
You're damn right I told him I'd have that on my conscience the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Well, wouldn't you be if someone...
Is Mitch through with her?
No, not necessarily through with her, just wised up.
Stanley, she thought Mitch was going to marry her. I was hoping so.
Well, he's not going to marry her now. Maybe he was, but he's not going to jump into a tank with a school of sharks.
Blanche! Oh, Blanche, could I please get into my bedroom?
Yes, indeed, sir. Can you wait 1 second while I drive?
Having waited 1 hour, 1 second ought to pass in a hurry.
She hasn't got her job. What will she do?
She's not staying here after Tuesday. You know that, don't you? Just to make sure I bought her a ticket myself, a bus ticket.
In the first place, Blanche wouldn't go on a bus.
She'll go on a bus and like it.
No, she won't, Stanley. No, she won't.
She'll go. Period. P.S. She'll go Tuesday.
What will she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean?
Hey, Canary Bird! Toots, get out of the bathroom!
Oh, I feel so good after my long, hot bath. I feel so good and cool and rested.
Do you, Blanche?
Yes, so refreshed. Oh, there's nothing like a hot bath and a long, cold drink to give me a brand new outlook on life. Something has happened. What is it?
Why, nothing's happened, Blanche.
You're lying. Something has.
Stanley, tell us a joke. Tell us a funny story, something that make us all laugh. I don't know what's the matter. We're all so solemn. Is it because I've been stood up by my beau? It's the first time in my entire experience with men, and I've had a good deal of all sorts, that I've actually been stood up by anybody. I don't know how to take it. Tell us a funny little story, Stanley, something to help us out.
I don't think you like my stories, Blanche.
I like them when they're amusing, but not indecent.
I don't know any refined enough for your taste.
Well, then let me tell one.
Yes, you tell one, Blanche. You used to know lots of good stories.
Let me see now. I must run through my repertoire. Oh, yes. I love parrot stories. Do you all like parrot stories? Well, this one is about the old maid and the parrot. This old maid, she had a parrot that cursed a blue streak and knew more vulgar expressions than Mr. Kowalski. And the only way to hush the parrot up was to put the cover back on its cage so it would think it was night and go back to sleep. But one morning, the old maid had just uncovered the parrot for the day when who should she see coming up the front walk but the preacher. She rushed back to the parrot and put the cover on its cage and then let in the preacher. He must be upstairs. The parrot was perfectly still, just as quiet as a mouse. But just as she was asking the preacher how much sugar he wanted in his coffee, the parrot broke the silence with a loud and said, "Hot damn, but that was a short day." Apparently, Mr. Kowalski was not amused.
Mr. Kowalski is too busy making a pig of himself to think about anything else. Your face and your fingers are disgustingly greasy. Go and wash up and then help me clear the table.
And that's how I'll clear the table. Don't you ever talk to me that way. Pig, Pollock, disgusting, vulgar, greasy. Them words have been on your tongue and your sister's too much around here. What do you two think you are, a pair of queens? Remember what Huey Long said. Every man is a king, and I'm the king around here, so don't you forget it. My place is cleared. You want me to clear your places?
What happened while I was bathing, Stella? What did he tell you?
Nothing, nothing.
I think he told you something about Mitch and me. You know why Mitch didn't come this evening, but you won't tell me. I'm going to call him.
I wouldn't call him,
I'm going
Blanche.
to call him on the phone.
I wish you wouldn't.
I intend to be given some explanation from some.
I hope you're pleased with your doings. I never had so much trouble swallowing food in my life. Looking at that girl's face in that empty chair.
Hello? Mr. Mitchell, please. Oh. I'd like to leave a number if I may. Yes, Magnolia 9047. And say that it's important to call. Yes, very important. Thank you.
Still, it's gonna be all right after she goes and after you've had the baby. It's gonna be all right again between you and me, the way that it was. You remember that way that it was, them nights we had together. God, honey, it's gonna be sweet when we can make noise in the night the way that we used to and get them colored lights going with nobody's sister behind the curtains to hear us. Stephen Eunice.
Come on, back inside. Blanche? Yes.
Oh, what pretty, pretty little candles. Oh, don't burn them, Stella. You ought to save them for baby's birthdays. Oh, I hope candles are going to glow in his life. I hope his eyes are going to be like candles. Like two blue candles lighted in a white cake.
What poetry.
I shouldn't have called him. There's lots of things that could have happened.
No, there's no excuse for it, Stella. I don't have to put up with insults. I won't be taken for granted.
Damn, it's hot in here with the steam from the bathroom.
I've said I was sorry 3 times. I take hot baths for my nerves. Hydrotherapy, they call it. You healthy bullock without a nerve in your body, of course you don't understand what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Polak. People from Poland are Poles, not Polacks. But what I am is 100% American. Born and raised in the greatest country on earth and proud as hell of it. So don't you ever call me a Polak.
That's for me, I'm sure.
I'm not so sure. Keep your seat. Hello? Oh, yeah, hello, Mac. Yeah? Really?
Keep your hands off me, Stella.
Oh, you couldn't.
What is the matter with you? Why are you looking at me with that pitying look?
Will you shut up over there? You got a noisy woman on the place. Go ahead, Mac. At Riley's? No, I don't want to bowl at Riley's. I had a little trouble with Riley last week. I'm the team captain, ain't I? All right, then. We're not going to bowl at Riley's. We're going to bowl at the west side of the gala. All right, Mac. See you. Sister Blanche, I got a little birthday remembrance for you.
Have you, Stanley? I wasn't expecting any.
I hope you like it.
Why? It's
A ticket back to Laurel on the Greyhound. Tuesday.
You didn't need to do that.
Don't forget all that I took off her.
You needn't have been so cruel to someone alone as she is.
Delicate piece she is.
She is. She was. You didn't know Blanche as a girl. Nobody was tender and trusting as she was. People like you abused her, forced her to change. Do you think you're going bowling now?
Sure.
You're not going bowling now. Why did you do this to her?
my shirt. You
I want to know why. Tell me why.
When we first met, me and you thought I was common. How right you was, baby. I was common as dirt. You showed me the snapshot of the place with the columns. I pulled you down off them columns, and how you loved it having them colored lights going. And wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay till she showed here? And wasn't we happy together? Wasn't it all okay till she showed here? Hoity-toity, describing me like an ape. What's the matter, Stella? Did I hurt you?
Take me to the hospital.
Red hot cold. Red hot. Go on home, darling.
Lordy. Para los muertos. Lordy.
Who is it, please?
Lee Mitch.
Mitch. You know I shouldn't even let you in after the treatment I've received from you this evening. So utterly uncavalier. But hello, beautiful. My, what a cold shoulder. In such uncouth apparel. Why, you haven't even shaved. But I forgive you. I forgive you because it's such a relief to see you. You've stopped that polka tune I had caught in my head. Have you ever had anything caught in your head? No, of course you haven't, you dumb angel. Puss, you'd never get anything awful caught in your head.
Do we have to have that fan on?
No?
I don't like fans.
Then let's turn it off, honey. I'm not partial to them. I don't know what there is to drink around here. I haven't investigated.
I don't want Stan's liquor.
It isn't Stan's. Some things on the premises are actually mine. How is your mother? Isn't your mother well?
Why?
Something's the matter tonight, but never mind. I won't cross-examine the witness. I'll just pretend I don't notice anything different about you. Oh, that music again.
What music?
The polka tune they were playing when Alan... There, another shot. It always stops after that. Yes. Now it stopped.
Are you boxed out of your mind?
I'll go see what I can find in the way of... Oh. By the way, excuse me for not being dressed, but I'd practically given you up. Had you forgotten your invitation to supper?
I wasn't gonna see you anymore.
Wait. I can't hear what you're saying. And you talk so little that when you do say something, I don't want to miss a single syllable of it. Oh, here's something. Southern Comfort. What is that, I wonder?
If you don't know, it must belong to Stan. You ought to lay off his liquor. He says you've been lapping it up all summer like a wildcat.
What a fantastic statement. Fantastic of him to say it and fantastic of you to repeat it. I won't descend to the level of such cheap accusations to answer them even. What's in your mind? I see something in your eyes.
It's dark in here.
I like it dark. The dark is comforting to me.
I don't think I've ever seen you in the light. That's a fact.
Is it?
I've never seen you in the afternoon.
Well, whose fault is that?
You never want to go out in the afternoon.
Why, Mitch, you're at the plant in the afternoon.
Not Sunday afternoon. You never want to go out till after 6, and then it's always someplace that's not lighted much.
There is some obscure meaning in this, but I fail to catch it.
What it means is I've never had a real good look at you, Blanche. Let's turn on this light here.
Which light? What for?
This one with a paper thing on it.
Oh! What did you do that for?
So I could take a look at you good and plain.
Oh, of course. You don't really mean to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism. I want magic.
Magic?
Yes, magic. I try to give that to people. I do misrepresent things to them. I don't tell the truth. I tell what ought to be the truth. And if that's a sin, then let me be damned for it. Don't turn on the light! No. No!
I don't mind you being older than what I thought, but all the rest of it. Damn. That pitch about your ideals being so old-fashioned and all the malarkey you've been dishing out all summer. Oh, I know you weren't 16 anymore, but I was fool enough to believe you were straight.
And who told you I wasn't straight? My loving brother-in-law. You believed him?
No. I called him a liar at first, but then I checked on his story. First, I asked our supply man who travels through Laurel, and then I talked directly over long distance to this merchant.
Who is this merchant?
Keyfob.
Oh, the merchant Keyfob of Laurel. Yes, I know the man. He whistled at me. I put him in his place, so now for revenge he makes up stories
Three people,
about...
Keyfob, Stanley, and Shaw.
Rub-a-dub-dub. 3 men in a tub in such a filthy
Didn't you
tub.
stay at a hotel called the Flamingo?
Flamingo? No. Tarantula was the name of it. I stayed at a hotel called the Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula?
Yes, a big spider. That's where I brought my victims. Yes, I had many intimacies with strangers. After the death of Alan, intimacies with strangers was all I seemed able to fill my empty heart with. I think it was panic, just panic, drove me from one to another, searching for protection here and there in the most unlikely places. Even at last, in a 17-year-old boy. But somebody wrote the superintendent. This woman is morally unfit for her position. True. Yes, I suppose. Unfit somehow, anyway. So I came here. There was nowhere else for me to go. I was played out. Do you know what played out means? My youth was suddenly gone up the water spout. And I met you. You said you needed somebody. Well, I needed somebody too. I thanked God for you. You seemed to be gentle, a cleft in the rock of the world that I could hide in. But I guess I was asking, hoping too much. Keyfob, Stanley, and Shaw tied an old tin can to the tail of the kite.
You lied to me, Blanche.
Don't say I lied to you.
Lies, inside and
No,
out.
never inside. I never lied in my heart. I was true as God in my heart to all of you. Always, always.
Flores.
What?
Flores para los muertos.
Oh, it's somebody outside.
Flores. Flores para los muertos. Flores para los muertos.
I lived in a house where dying old women remembered their dead men.
Flores. Flores para los muertos.
Crumble and fade. Regrets. Recriminations.
Coronas.
If you'd have done this, it wouldn't have cost me that. Legacies.
Coronas para los muertos. Coronas.
And other things. Such as blood-stained pillow slips. Her linens need changing. Yes, Mother. But couldn't we get a colored girl to do it? No, we couldn't, of course. Everything gone now, but
Flores.
death.
Ma used to sit here. And she used to sit over there. And death was as close as you are. We didn't dare even admit we had ever heard of it. Death. The opposite is desire. So do you wonder? How could you possibly wonder? Not far from Belle Reve, before we lost Belle Reve, was a camp where they trained young soldiers. On Saturday nights, they used to go into town to get drunk. And on the way back, they'd stagger onto my lawn and call to me, Blanche, Blanche. Deaf old lady remained and suspected nothing. But sometimes I'd slip outside and answer their calls. Later, the paddy wagon would gather them up like daisies. The long way home. What do you want?
What I've been missing all summer.
Oh, then marry me, Mitch.
I don't think I want to marry you anymore.
No.
You're not clean enough to bring in the house with my mother.
Oh. Go away. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Get out of here quick before I start screaming fire. Ah! Oh. How about taking a swim? A moonlight swim at the old rock quarry? That is, if anyone is sober enough to drive a car. Best way in the world to stop your head buzzing. Only have to be careful and dive where the deep pool is. If you hit a rock, you don't come up till tomorrow. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're playing good night, ladies. May I rest my weary head on your shoulder? So comforting. Oh.
Hi, Blanche.
How's my sister?
She's doing okay.
How's the baby?
Well, the baby won't come before morning, so they told me to go home and get a little shut-eye.
Does that mean we ought to be alone in here?
Yep. Just me and you, Blanche, unless you got somebody hid under the bed. What do you got on those fine feathers for?
Oh, that's right. You left before my wire came.
You got a wire?
Yes, I received a telegram from an old admirer of mine.
Anything good?
I think so. An invitation.
What to, a fireman's ball?
A cruise of the Caribbean on a yacht.
Well, well, what do you know? Who'd you say it was from?
Mr. Shep Huntley. A boy's Ethiopian my last year at college. I hadn't seen him until last Christmas. And then, just now, this wire inviting me on a cruise. Problem is closed. I tore into my trunk to see what I have that's suitable for the tropics.
and come up with that gorgeous diamond tiara.
This old relic, it's only rhinestones.
Gosh, I thought it was Tiffany's diamonds.
Well, anyhow, I shall be entertained in style.
It goes to show you never know what is coming.
Just when I thought my luck had begun to fail me.
Into the picture pops this Miami millionaire.
This man is not from Miami. This man is from Dallas.
Well, just so he's from somewhere.
Close the curtain if you're going to undress any further.
This is all I'm going to undress right now. You seen a bottle opener? I used to have a cousin. He could open a beer bottle with his teeth. That was his only accomplishment, all he could do. He was just a human bottle opener. Then one time at a wedding party, he broke his front teeth off. After that, he was so ashamed of himself, he used to sneak out of the house whenever company came. Rain from heaven! What do you say, Blanche? Shall we bury the hatchet and make it a loving cup?
No, thank you. What are you doing here?
This is something I always break out on special occasions like this. The silk pajamas I wore on my wedding night. And when that telephone rings and they say you've got a son, I'll tear this off and wave it like a flag. Well, I guess we're both entitled to put on the dog. You having a oil millionaire and me having a baby.
When I think of how divine it's going to be to have such a thing as privacy once more, I could weep with joy.
This millionaire from Dallas is not going to interfere with your privacy any?
Won't be the sort of thing you have in mind. This man is a gentleman. He respects me. Cultivated woman. A woman of intelligence and breeding can enrich a man's life immeasurably. And I have those things to offer. And time doesn't take them away. Physical beauty is passing. A transitory possession. But beauty of the mind and richness of the spirit and tenderness of the heart. And I have all those things, aren't taken away, but grow, increase with the years. How strange that I should be called a destitute woman when I have all these treasures locked in my heart. I think of myself as a very, very rich woman. But I've been foolish, casting my pearls before her.
Swine, huh?
Yes, swine. Swine. And I'm thinking not only of you, but of your friend, Mr. Mitchell. He came to see me tonight. He dared to come here in his work clothes and to repeat slander to me. Vicious stories that he had gotten from you. I gave him his walking papers.
You did, huh?
Yes. But then he came back. He returned with a box of roses to beg my forgiveness. He implored my forgiveness. But some things are not forgivable. Deliberate cruelty is not forgivable. It is the one unforgivable thing, in my opinion. And it is the one thing of which I have never been guilty. So I told him, I said to him, thank you. But it was foolish of me
to think we could ever adapt ourselves to each other. Our ways of life are too different. We have to be realistic about such things. So, oh, farewell, my friend. And let there be no hard feelings.
Was this before or after the telegram came from the Texas oil millionaire?
What telegram? Oh, no. No. After. As a matter of fact, my wire came.
As a matter of fact, there wasn't no wire at all. There isn't no millionaire, and Mitch didn't come back here with no roses because I know where he is. There isn't a damn thing but imagination and lies and conceit and tricks. And look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in this worn-out Mardi Gras outfit rented for 50 cents from some rag picker with the crazy crown on. What queen do you think you are? I've been on to you from the start. Not once did you pull the wool over this boy's eyes. You come in here and you sprinkle the place with powder and you spray perfume and you cover the light bulb with a paper lantern. And lo and behold, the place has turned into Egypt, and you are the queen of the Nile sitting on your throne, swilling down my liquor. Well, I say, ha ha, do you hear me? Ha ha ha.
Distance. Yes, I want to get in touch with Mr. Shep Hartley of Dallas. No, he's so well known, he doesn't require any address. Just ask anyone who... No, please understand. I couldn't find her right now. No, wait. I can't. Operator, never mind long distance, there isn't time. Okay, Western Union. Western Union. Union. Yes, I want. Take down this message. In desperate circumstances, help me. Caught in a trap.
You left the phone off the hook.
Let me get out. Let me get by you.
Get by me? Sure, go ahead.
You stand over there.
You got plenty of room to get by me now.
Not with you there. I've got to get out somehow.
You think I'll interfere with you? Come to think of it, maybe you wouldn't be so bad to interfere with.
Stay back. Don't come toward me another step or...
What?
Some awful thing will happen. It will.
What are you putting on now?
I warn you. I'm in danger.
What'd you do that for?
So I could twist the broken end in your face.
I bet you would do that.
I would. I will if you...
Oh, you want some roughhouse, huh? All right, let's have some roughhouse. Tiger, tiger. Drop the bottle, Tom. Drop it.
Oh. No! No! No!
We've had this date with each other from the beginning.
No! No!
Drew to an inside straight and beat it by God.
Dita sea tu suerte.
Put it in English, Greaseball.
Cursing your rotting luck.
You know what luck is? Luck is believing you're lucky. Take Solano. I believed I was lucky. I figured 4 out of 5 would not make it through, but I would, and I did. I put that down as a rule. You want to hold a front position in this rat race, you got to believe you're lucky.
You, brag, boob.
What's the matter with him?
Always did say that men were callous things with no feelings, but this does beat anything. Making pigs of yourselves.
Come on, let's play.
That was my baby.
Sleeping like a little angel. Brought you some grapes. Where is she?
Bathing.
How is she?
She wouldn't eat anything, but asked for a drink.
What'd you tell her?
I just told her we made arrangements for her to rest in the country. She's got it mixed up in her mind with Shep Huntley.
Stella,
Yes, Blanche?
that cool yellow silk, the boucle, see if it's crushed. If it's not too crushed, I'll wear it. And on the lapel, that silver and turquoise pin in the shape of a seahorse. Oh, and Stella, try and locate a bunch of artificial... violets to wear with the pin on the lapel of my jacket. I just don't know if I did the right thing.
What else could you do?
I couldn't believe her story and go on living with Stanley.
Don't you ever believe it. You gotta keep on going, honey. No matter what happens, we all gotta keep on going.
Stella.
Is the coast clear?
Yes, Blanche. Tell how well she's looking.
I've just washed my hair.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure I got all the soap out.
Such fine hair.
Yes, it's a problem. Did I get any calls?
Who from, Blanche?
Shep Huntley.
Well, not yet, honey.
How strange.
Hey, Mitch.
After...
I'm too.
Mitch? What's happened here? I want an explanation of what's going on here.
Honey.
What are you two looking at me like that for? Something wrong with me?
You look wonderful, Blanche. Don't she look
Yes.
wonderful? I understand you're going on a trip.
Yes, Blanche is. She's going on a vacation.
I'm green with envy.
Help me. Help me get dressed.
Is this what you want?
Yes, it'll do. I'm anxious to get out of here.
This place is a trap.
Such a pretty blue jacket.
It's lilac colored.
You're both mistaken. It's Della Robbia blue. The blue of the robe in the old Madonna pictures. Are these grapes washed?
Huh?
Washed, I said. Are they washed?
They're from the French market.
That doesn't mean they've been washed.
Oh. Oh. Those cathedral bells. They're the only clean thing in the quarter. Well, I'm going now. I'm ready to go.
She's gonna walk out before they get here.
Blanche, wait. I don't want to pass in front of those men.
Then wait till the game breaks up.
Yes. Sit down and... Oh. I can smell the sea air. I'm going to spend the rest of my days on the sea. And when I die, I'm going to die on the sea. And do you know what I shall die of? I shall die of eating an unwashed grape. One day out on the ocean. Poor lady, they'll say. Oh, that quinine did her no good. That unwashed grape has transported her soul to heaven. And I shall be buried at sea. Sewn up in a clean white sack and dropped overboard at noon in the blaze of summer into an ocean as blue as the blue of my first lover's eyes.
Excuse me while I see who's at the door.
Yes. I wonder if it's for me.
Someone is calling for Blanche.
It is for me, then? Is it the gentleman I was expecting from Dallas?
I think it is, Blanche.
I'm not quite ready. Ask him to wait outside. Everything packed? My silver toilet articles are still out.
They're waiting in front of the house.
They? Who's they?
There's a lady with them.
I wonder who this lady could be. How was she dressed?
Just sort of plain tailored outfit.
Possibly she's his.
Shall we go, Blanche?
Yes.
Must we go through that room? I will go with you.
How do I look?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Please don't get up. I'm only passing through. You are not the gentleman I was expecting. That man is in Chipotle.
Did you forget something?
Yes, I forgot something. Oh, I forgot something.
Nurse, bring her out.
Hello, Blanche.
She says she forgot something.
That's all right.
What'd you forget, Blanche?
It don't matter. We can pick it up later.
Sure, we can send it along with the trunk.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I want to be left alone, please.
Now, Blanche.
Now, Blanche, all you've left here is some spilt talcum powder and some old empty perfume bottles, unless it's the paper lantern you want. You want the lantern?
No. No!
Oh, my God. Don't let them hurt her.
No,
Please, God, don't
Stay
hurt
here.
her.
Don't go back in there. Stay with me and don't look.
Hey, Doc, you better go in.
You done this with all of your damn rotten things.
Get them off! Hey, come on, Mitch! Come on, Mitch! Come on!
You done the right thing.
Oh, my
Only thing
God.
you could
What
do.
have I done to
There
my
was
sister?
no other place where she could go.
These fingernails will have to be trimmed. Jacket, doctor.
Not unless necessary. Miss Dubois?
Please,
Won't be necessary.
ask her to let go of me.
Yes. Let her go.
Whoever you are, I have always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Blanche. Blanche. Blanche.
All right, boys. This game is 7 cards stud.